Hi, I'm Jessica. I teach a class called Principles of Human Services, which is a career and technical education course offered in Texas, and I teach it at a middle school to 7th and 8th graders. Today I'm going to walk you through on how to build the foundation for your notebook following this foundation model. And my notebook actually serves as my lesson planning assistant. So I'm going to go to NotebookLM and show you how I set up my notebook to do that. So over here you will see the sources. Notice that I'm not uploading everything, only the documents that define instructional boundaries. So I have the state standards right here. I have the curriculum provided by my school district. I have a daily lesson plan template and a week at a glance or WAG template, which I am using for most of my lessons every week. Now, if you take a look at the center panel, once you upload your sources, NotebookLM will immediately provide a summary of the uploaded sources. This summary helps you confirm that the system understands the scope of your materials before you generate anything. Once you have your sources and your summary, you can open up the configuration for your notebook. This is where you can do a custom configure chat based on what you are wanting from your notebook. I was very specific with what I wanted. I feel like the more specific that you are, the more aligned your outcomes are going to be with what you want. So I defined my role. You are an instructional designer supporting a Texas middle school Principles of Human Services course. Right? I wanted to have TEKS aligned information and cite the numbers explicitly. Remember, those are the state standards for my class. I said use the lesson template exactly as provided. Structure as a week at a glance outline. See the source template. Remember, those are over here. And then keep it teacher friendly, copy paste ready. And then for every lesson include where students are reading, writing, listening, speaking, and collaborating. That's required by my principal, so I did want to include that there. I also have many English language learners as students, so I always want to have sentence stems and scaffolds for those learners. And then differentiation for struggling, on level, and advanced. At the end of the chat configuration, I always like to put, no matter what kind of notebook I'm doing, is ask 1 to 2 clarifying questions and don't invent missing information. This will make sure that your sources are used and it's grounded in what you provide and it's not giving you random answers or hallucinations, which can be common if you use ChatGPT or an LLM. You can also select your response length down here. I just like to stick with default. So once you have that configured, hit save. Right? Notice on the dashboard you can share. So you can share with other people that you work with. There's settings that you have where you can change the output language if you're working with people that speak a different language. Right, and then over here there's also the studio, which we will explore in a later module. This has some really great tools that you can use to enhance your instructional design or lessons as well. Right, for now the key takeaway is that strong outputs begin with a thoughtful structure. Clear sources, intentional configuration, and defined instructional boundaries. That's what makes everything else possible. In the next module, we'll focus on how to write prompts that leverage this structure. That creates forward momentum.